Hi there, it's me again. I mean, it's Tuesday, of course it is. Whoop-de-doo. So how are you doing? Is everything going okay? I hope so. Everything's going okay here. I just heard back from that anthology I submitted to. I got rejected. Like I said, I thought that was going to be the case. There were certain speculations that they wanted to meet um, with that anthology, and my story kind of it took a little walk on me and went in a different direction. I'm not at all mad about it. The editor was super duper nice about it, and again, I expected it. I have to say, I'm glad I got rejected. It feels good to get rejected because this is someone we walk in a lot of the same circles, and I was a little worried, knowing full well that this story didn't meet spec like it should have. I was a little worried that I would get accepted just on who I know, and I really didn't want that. So I feel really good that I got rejected. I have other plans for the story. We're doing good. We're doing good over here, you guys. So we are in red lipstick season, Christmas, and I got jingle bells in my ears, and I've been watching Christmas movies. So I don't know if you listen to the Ghostwriters podcast. No pressure, absolutely not. But it's kind of become weekly homework to watch a movie to report on for the show. And we're going to record this Thursday's episode tonight. And I watched a movie called Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. I like schlock, so I have no problem kind of going weird. But I was looking for a good schlocky film. I was looking for, a Christmassy film that is horror related but is also good, enjoyable. And I mean, I'll talk about it on the podcast tonight, so I'll save you that. But promises were made that were not kept, and it was so close to actually really being good that I'm kind of mad at it now. So, other than that, it's been the more traditional ones. We watched Jim Carrey's The Grinch. We've watched, what the hell else? Christmas with the Cranks. There was one more. What was it? I can't remember. Oh, the Santa Claus. My kids are picking them out. So yeah. I hope all is well. Putting down the remote because we gotta talk. So, Threads of Malice. So I'm having this sort of crisis now because this is book 2 in a trilogy, and the first 2 books have been so good. I loved Threads of Malice. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm kind of nervous about the 3rd book kind of meeting the standard. Have you ever read a series, even a short series, but I mean, I've read long series where it kept going downhill, or it was good until like the last book or the last 2 books, and it's heartbreaking when that happens. I'm kind of worried. I have all faith in Tambo Jones, I do, so I'm trying not to actively doubt, but it's in there. I've been burned enough times to be worried about it. But Threads of Malice, fantastic book. When I talked about it last, I mentioned, I think I know who it is. I thought that was Ghosts in the Snow too. Nah, I'm full of shit. Holy crap. I wasn't even close. So, Christian, I know you were going to get to it someday. I'm going to be very light with the spoilers. So I apologize. Very, very light. With Ghosts in the Snow, I thought the killer was the priest. There were weird little conversations that the killer was having in his head and things that he was saying that made me think that it was the priest, because obviously the priest would be aware of Dubrick's hatred of the goddess, and there were just things that he was saying where he was very much concentrating on Dubrick and wanting to clean himself, where you come to realize what that really means, but before you know, I thought it was the priest. Yeah, I was wrong. And in this one, it's much more complicated than the first book. The plot is much more than just essentially in the first book a disturbed person, a sick person. It's much more in the second book. But I really thought that the main player in the second book was the ferryman, because he was really chatty and he kept getting on their nerves because, they would want to get across the river and the ferryman is just, jawing their ears off. And I was like, there's something funny about the ferryman. And I think he was actually one of the few completely clean characters. So I was way off. But yeah, this book was super good, and I was really happy to get more of a view of the Mage Wars. I mentioned when I was talking about Ghost in the Snow, I wanted to hear more about the Mage Wars. We hear a little bit more about the Mage Wars, one in particular. Now, I don't know how to pronounce this mage's name. Is it Foich? Fwatch? Fwash? Foish? I don't know. Devil of the Reach, that's what we'll refer to him as. But icky guy. Ugh. And the people serving him, icky people. But that was a really neat insight. It was also, I don't know, there was something kind of circular about, Dubric was the person in his youth who killed leave me alone, who killed the Dark Mage the first time around, and then he has to come back and discover that death is not permanent when it comes to mages, I guess, especially if there are people who know how to, again, light spoilers, I'll be good, but I love this book. I did have one issue, and when did I finish the book? Today is Tuesday. I finished it on Sunday. I just finished it on Sunday, and I'm still kind of peeved at this one part. There's a surprising death near the end, not at the very end, but near the end, that is very devastating. And Dean and his wife, they blame Lars. And the reason why this kind of stuck in my craw is because so much of the previous chapters concerning Dean and his family and Lars is they spend so much time telling Lars, you are our son, you are our brother, you are family, you are one of us, we accept you as one of our own, we love you, please accept that you are one of us, we love you, we love you, we love you. And then when this happens, they turn their backs real fast on Lars. And the death is devastating, of course. But that was so much more hurtful when they're riding back and Dean tells Lars, you're sleeping in the barn tonight. Oh, fuck you, Dean. Like, seriously? Fuck you. And Dubric tells Lars, he's in pain, he doesn't know what he's saying. And the thing is Lars can't hear that, because Lars was already blaming himself. He was already beating himself up over this. He's one of those people who anything short of perfection is failure. And that's heartbreaking because he's young. He's a teenager. And then having Dean, who put himself in the position, oh, I'm shaking the desk. He put himself in the position of being the father figure to Lars, because Lars has been abandoned by his family. He put himself in that position. He assumed it himself. And then the second he's hurt, that's so cruel. That's so cruel. And Saria, Dean's wife, she seems to agree with this. Letting this boy sleep out in the barn when they know it's not safe. It's not. And it turns out to be a big mistake, because poor Lars, like, holy crap. I'm interested to see in the third book, are Lars and Otley going to be okay? Lars experienced some deep shit, and poor Otley, that poor boy. I hope they're going to be okay. I hope they're able to grow from it. I don't know that you can heal from some of that stuff. There are just some things you don't heal from. And I think they're both irreparably harmed from the goings on of the second book. So I'm very curious to see how they move on from that, because it's devastating. And even at the end, things kind of wordlessly smooth out. It's not good enough for me. There should have been a goddamn apology from Dean to Lars. Maybe there was and I just didn't read about it, but I don't like it. I'm mad. I don't like it. Please don't treat people like that. I don't care how much you're hurting, because he was already hurting and it just made it 1,000 times worse. He was sitting there considering, the world would be better if I weren't in it. And I mean, first of all, that's great writing on Tambo's part. Great writing, because look how twisted up I'm getting over it. It is a fictional story and I could wring someone's neck over this. Great writing. Let's not forget that. But seriously, as someone who at times in my life has had suicidal ideation, that is upsetting, knowing that people around him who kept telling him, we're here for you, we love you, we're family, how fast they turned their backs on him. I understand they were in pain. I really do. And I understand that there are certain personality types that when they are in pain, they feel the need to share it. Pain needs to be virulent to them. But, boy, I will not think well of Dean in the third book. I'm very disgusted by that bullshit. It just makes me mad, because Lars assumed he was alone. He always assumed he was alone. And then they're like, no, you're one of us. You're one of us. But yeah, great book. Really enjoyed it. Just set it down. I'm filming. Maybe one of these days. But I loved it. Like I told you in the post that I wrote, I cried at the end, and it was because I was hurting for Lars. And I'm happy for Dubrick, though. Let's talk about that for a second. How do I say it without spoilers? There was a healing there. A big step forward for him after 40-something years? I think he says something like, his wife died something like 40-something summers before. So he's been mourning, and he was finally in this book able to step out of that ring of pain, to move forward, and I'm really happy for him about that. But I'm very worried about Lars. I'm very worried about Otley, and Dean can sit and spin. I don't know. I'm really mad at him. Really mad at him. I wonder what the third book will bring, though. I haven't even started it yet, but I don't know. Like, will it take place at the castle like the first one did, or will we be more widespread this time? I mean, surely there's going to be a lot of work that has to be done in the Reach, because a lot of people who were in power were, by various means, taken out of power in this book. Deservedly so. Like, holy crap, the corruption went deep. And I'm curious if we'll hear about that in the third book, because that's never a short process. That's a long process of cleaning up this disgusting mess. Super disgusting. Like, hopefully they burned a whole bunch of places down. Ugh. There's just a lot of ugh. Like, Lord Hackenry, or is that how you pronounce it? I think so. But that guy was just vile. Mulkenry, the doctor, also vile. He was so gross, his nickname was Pig Shit. They called him Pig Shit Mole. That's what they called him. That's how gross this guy was. And he deserved it. Just a lot of really unsavory characters. Really great writing. Really great characterization. I freaking loved this book. And, excuse me, why? What world have I been living in where I didn't... Hey! Hey! That's not yours. That's not yours. That's not yours. Go away. I'm so sorry. Will I cut this out? I might. I don't know. We'll see. I have a lot to do today. Where was I at? Great characterization. Like, I'm mad that I didn't know about these until Dr. Josh told me about them. I'm actually mad. I'm offended that I was unaware of these books because they're so good. They're so good. Huh. So now I'm going to have to go through the trouble of making sure everybody knows about it. I don't know how. I've sort of abandoned my online presence because drama got a little too heavy there for a while. So I don't know. I guess it's just going to be word of mouth stuff. But yeah, these books are excellent. And I really, really, really am rooting for the third book to also be excellent. I'm really into this storyline. I'm really into the characters. Like, I am committed. I do have a tendency to go full fangirl. This is something I do. But I'm loving it. I'm loving these books. And then after that, what the hell am I going to read? I do have a really big pile of to be reads back there that I have to get to. And then I've got Christmas money coming to me from my mom, and I've got a list of books on Amazon to start picking from. So I will never run out. We will keep chugging along, and I'm really happy that you're always here for me with that. That I have someone to talk books with, where we can be lively about it, you know. Because I don't know, I talk books a lot with other people, with other writers, and I mean, there are a lot of writers like me who are very much, we just love to read, and we love to just love on the books that we loved, you know. But there are others who it's hard to talk to them about books sometimes because they want to be technical about it all the time. It's hard to be a fan around writers sometimes when you're expected to be that way too. And it's not all writers, and it's actually not many people that I hang out with, but there's so many different tastes. There are so many different subgenres just in horror, and there are people who are very committed to just one or two of those subgenres. They don't stray outside of it. They're very committed to just this. And then there are people who are a little more promiscuous with it. I think I'm a promiscuous one. I'll go all over the place. You tell me it's a great book and you're a person I trust, yeah, I'll read it. I don't care. So yeah, I need to get the word out on these books because they are excellent. They are so good. Thank you so much, Dr. Josh, for recommending them, because I like when I get so tied up in knots like this where I'm just so committed and I cry because one of the characters is hurting so bad and I wish I could do something. It hurts. I loved it. So, looking forward to book 3. It was Valley of the Souls, I think it's called. I could have looked that up. That would have been easy, but no. So, again, I hope all is well. I hope the stresses of the world aren't bringing you down. Because it's hard. I know it is. And it's harder on others than some. I worded that so bad. Hi, I'm a writer. This is what I do. And I don't know. I will be able to get to a bonus episode this week. So look out for that. And doing, Ghost Writers podcast tonight. I'll be working most of the day on the main episode of A Case for Classics tomorrow. So Thursday or Friday, I'll try to get a bonus episode up. But then I'm baking cookies. I'm baking holiday cookies, and I'm blasting good music. When I was putting up the Christmas decorations, I had made a Spotify Christmas playlist, and usually, my husband teases me and says I'm a psychotic Christmas elf because I'm just sprinkling Christmas spirit all over the place. But it even got old for me on hour 3. So I started playing different music, and my kid comes down and 9 Inch Nails is playing, and he's like, this isn't Christmas music. And it's like, but it's my music, so leave me alone. Kids are always unimpressed with you. Always. Everything I do is lame to my kids, which everything I do is lame to most of my peers too, so that's okay. I'm used to it. So that'll be it for today. And I'll see you next week on Tuesday. These are fun. I enjoy doing these. So bye. Take care. Let's see if the remote works. Okay. Seriously? What? Oh, let's see. Oh my god, this video is a mess. I'm so sorry. You pay for this. I'm sorry. All right. I swear to God,